Let's continue with Revit interface. In this lesson, we will focus on the properties window. If nothing is selected, we see the properties of the view. You see there is a list of parameters and they are grouped accordingly. So we have graphics, extents, camera, identity data, etc. If we go to floor plan, we will have the properties of the floor plan. Some of the parameters will be very similar. It concerns both views and objects. If we want to see the property of an object, we need to first select it. So if I select an object by clicking on it, I will see the properties of it. We have parameters connected strictly to the geometry, like base offset base constraint, top offset top constraint, but also we may find other properties purely connected to documentation, like comments, mark, and length, area, volume, which might be useful in the schedules. In Revit, there are two major types of parameters. First one is instance parameter and the second one is type. What we see right now in the properties windows are all instance parameters. If I want to see type parameters, I need to click Edit Type button. The difference between two parameters will be best explained on this example of 4 windows. We have 4 windows here which belong to the same type. You see, they are called single window standard family. Let's investigate the properties of it. We have width and height. Let's modify the height. I will enter some value. And you can see that I modified only the selected object. All other elements stayed the same. I can select multiple elements at once. And if they have a common parameter, I can also modify it in that way. Now let's try to modify the type parameter. I do that by selecting one object and go to Edit Type. Let's modify the frame width to some extreme value. Let's say 180. If I click Apply, you see all elements belonging to the same type got changed. So this is the main difference. It's important to understand the difference between them. Both properties window and project browser can be arranged on your interface freely. You simply drag and drop it wherever you want. If you are using 2 monitors, you can, for example, move both of them to the second screen and thus has more space in a working environment. We can also drag those windows to the edges. If I do that, the blue rectangle appears, and if I drop it, it will get docked to one of the edges. I can do this on the left or on the right side, but I can also do it at the bottom. If I want to go back to the default settings, I will just first push project browser here and then try to find the top edge here. Then I can adjust its width. Also, if you by mistake close it, you can always reactivate it by going to View, User Interface, and checking Project Browser and Properties. Another additional setting is that you can actually zoom and enlarge the font of the Properties and Project Browser file. What you need to do is click on the Properties, press Ctrl and roll your mouse scroll. You see, it changes. So if you don't see it well, remember that you have this option. Same with Project Browser. I activate it by clicking Ctrl and roll of the mouse. There are some additional settings that allows me to sort parameters. We have 3 options to sort them. The default one, A to Z, and alphabetical descending. So if you are struggling with finding the name of the parameters, especially if you are a beginner, you can always sort them. It's very helpful. For me, as an experienced user, I rarely use that because I already know where the parameters are exactly. Properties window is used also during the modeling process. So for example, if I select a component, I can from the list select the family that I want to place. We have families and types. After that, I simply click and place them. Property window can also be used if I want to replace an existing object. For example, Let's switch to different type of chair. I simply select it, go to properties, and on the list there are other furnitures available to choose from. I will switch to the bar chair, and that's it. You can see that property window is a very important part of the user interface, and we will use it and learn more about it in the future lessons.